guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Courtney. Today I have got 2 fall Dollar Tree DIYs for you, so let's get into today's projects. The first step in this project is to take one of these little ghosts from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off the price tag, and then I'm going to begin unraveling all of the glittery tinsel, and I'm going to save the little mouth and eyes from this ghost. Once the tinsel is all off, I'm going to take some hot glue and I am going to just kind of secure this so that it stays together. Now normally when I work with these little things from Dollar Tree, I go back and then cut all the little nubs off, those little plastic things sticking off the edges. But because the yarn I'm using is super fluffy, you won't be able to see them when I wrap it. Now, if you end up, there's the fluffy yarn in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. If you end up just using a regular yarn or a tight string or something like that, then I would recommend cutting off the little nubs. I'm gonna take a little bit of hot glue just to kind of secure this at the bottom, and then wrapping this is so super easy. And I'm just gonna keep wrapping this until I get it as fluffy and as covered as I want it. Now, I quickly wanted to say, as I was doing this, I kept thinking of the abominable snowman. So you could probably turn this into a Christmas craft if you wanted to. But anyway, like I said, I'm just kind of wrapping it till I'm happy with how it looks. I'm just going to now detach the little mouth and eyes from this tinsel. It's just cardboard, but it came off pretty easily. I'm just going to kind of trim around it. And then they were super, super shiny. And so, as you can kind of see there in the reflection, I ended up taking some of the Waverly ink chalk paint and I just kind of swiped them with one coat of paint, and it looked much, much better in my opinion. To attach the eyes and the mouth, I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue. Now, if you didn't want to use these little cardboard things, you certainly could use buttons, or you could use rhinestones. You know, there's a lot of things you could probably use instead of this, but this was just a convenience factor for me, so that's why I used these. And then I decided that I wanted to turn my ghost into a little girl ghost, so I got some of my black and white checked ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I made a little bow and I glued it to the top of her hair. Guys, you can't have a girl ghost without eyelashes, so I picked up some eyelashes from Dollar Tree and decided that this little girl ghost needed some eyelashes. So I just took the lashes and I basically just kind of trimmed the corner part that goes, you know, the narrow part right there. I'm trying to show you here. Yeah, that part right there. I just trimmed off, I don't know, about... I just trimmed some off, and then because they're already sticky, I didn't add any extra glue or hot glue or anything like that. I literally just stuck it kind of straight onto the eyeball, and there you go. Now this is a great little girl ghost. And here is the finished girly ghost. So now let's move into our second DIY. Alright, this next one I'm going to be using this pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start by taking the twine off, the raffia bow, and the little leaf. Once I get all of that off, I'm going to flip it over to the back, and then I am going to paint it with 2 coats of the pumpkin Waverly chalk paint. right, once the pumpkin is dry, what we are trying to do here is create a weave look on the pumpkin. So I've got this orange yarn. It was called pumpkin something from Hobby Lobby. I threw the label away. I know it started with pumpkin, but it's at Hobby Lobby. And basically we're gonna make, starting with columns of little clumps of yarn. So I'm gonna start by wrapping the yarn around 5 times. Just kind of laying the yarn right next to each other like this, where it kind of just sits nicely like that. Now you could use any material you want. This skinnier yarn will take you forever. And I'm just gonna say this, my plan was to weave this entire pumpkin and have the whole thing covered with yarn, but I'm not even kidding. 5 minutes in, I realized how labor intensive this actually is, and I knew there was no way I was gonna do it. So just keep that in mind. This is a very long project to do. I spread it out over several days, but the end result is great. And you could do many options. You could paint the pumpkin white and do black to kind of have like a check, black buffalo check effect. But as you can see here, I'm just gonna keep doing little columns here of the yarn, doing 5 pieces. I will say this also, after I did just 5, I realized they need to be wider, so I end up going and adding 5 more to each column. So basically, if I haven't confused you by now, start by doing your vertical wraps. Don't pull it super, super tight, and do about 10 wraparounds for each column. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please feel free to comment down below and I will try to explain it better. And this is what it looks like when all the vertical columns are done. Now, if you wanted to cover the whole pumpkin like I had intended, you're just gonna make your vertical columns a little bit wider so that when you weave the other direction, it ends up covering the whole thing. So my guess would be to probably do 15 in each, and then you should be able to cover the whole pumpkin. I'm gonna take one of these yarn needles and I'm gonna thread some of the yarn through. And then I'm just gonna start basically doing my horizontal rows, and it's just gonna be an over, under, over, under, over, under, pull it around the back, over, under, over, under. I will be securing with hot glue on the back as I'm doing this, and I'm basically gonna make some rows going down. And there you go. That is what it looks like. It actually looks really, really cute in person, so I am very happy with how it turned out. Now, to finish it off, I'm just going to take some twine and attach it with a little bit of hot glue and just wrap that around the stem. And then I'm going to mess with some embellishments, trying to decide what I want to do with that. And what I ended up doing is I just hot glue the word harvest. It's one of those words from the 3-pack from Dollar Tree. And then I just tie a good old-fashioned little bow around the top to embellish the top. And then the back looks hideous, so I just took some craft paper from Dollar Tree and just kind of tacked it down and then just trimmed around the pumpkin so that the back was kind of covered, even though it won't be visible. I went ahead and just covered up the back. And there you go. Here is the finished project. I think it turned out really cute, even though it wasn't my original vision. If any of you guys make it, or the ghost, please tag me. I'd love to see you guys' creation. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you like fall DIYs, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!